And we've had this place since 1999, and it's approximately 200 acres. I have approximately a half a mile of Crow Creek that runs through the property, so I have a mix of sub-irrigated meadow, I have hardgrass prairie, I have 70 acres under a center pivot, and then I have the corners that I have put in pollinator habitat. We were starting to see more problems with alfalfa weevils in our hayfields. And one of the best ways to combat alfalfa weevils is to actually plant pollinator habitat so that you can bring in the good bugs to go eat the bad bugs. It's a very cool process of a natural balance. I wanted my pollinator habitat to benefit the native bees. I also, maybe someday in my future, will have honeybees, so I want to develop a habitat for those to support them, because the number one problem facing our pollinators right now is lack of habitat. It's lack of flowers, lack of that floral resource to support them. So the best way to help your native bees and your European honeybees is to plant more flowers. I mean, what a cool thing to have to do, plant more flowers. How fun is that? It was funded through the NRCS, which is Natural Resources Conservation Service, and that's where the grant money is handled through that EQUIP program. I paid for the seed up front. They in turn reimbursed me for the cost of the seed. I did have to pay out of pocket to have it planted, and we went with a no-till process, so we didn't plow anything up. I didn't want to disturb the soil any more than necessary. And the total cost of it was about $4,500. And that included the seed, and that included having someone come in and custom till and drill the seed for me. I planted it in the spring. The goal was to plant it before Mother's Day and to try to capture on the soil moisture and then any other natural moisture that's going to come along. One of the requirements for doing a pollinator habitat is they want to see at least 3 different species of blooming flowers per season. So I've got to find something that's going to bloom in the spring, the summer, and then late summer, early fall. Going with both native and non-native, I think gave me a better diversity, and I know the lean is towards more native plants than non-native, but I think you really can't rely just on one alone. You have to have that plant diversity in there. They need a banquet. They need to be able to pick and choose different floral resources in order to maintain their health. Every year is going to be different for the pollinator habitat, and at some point I know I'm going to have to come back in and replant, because they're not going to perpetuate themselves. So you can't plant it and forget it. You have to plant it and then maintain it. So there's some work to it. So some of my challenges in dealing with the pollinator habitat are weeds. And I have a problem with cheatgrass out here. I've got some horseweed. I have some prickly lettuce out here and kochia. So the plan is to come in and swath it. We're going to bale it. We're going to try not to rake it and disturb the seed, especially the weed seeds. And then we'll bale it, and then we'll remove it off the field. I plan to do another 10 acres out in the fields out there in a hardgrass prairie. I'm supporting my native bees. I'm supporting beneficial insects, and it all benefits me and my alfalfa, but it also benefits the environment.